All right, happy new year, guys. It's officially our very first mindset call of 2021, and I'm super excited to be hosting this call. You already know it's your girl, Nikki. So here what we're going to do, guys, first of all right, and we're going to have a recap on last week. For those of us that was not on the call last week, we spoke about 7 things that we had to do in order to make sure that we were prepared for the season of elevation, that we were prepared for a season of rebuilding. How many of you on that call last week really felt the power through discussing the story of Nehemiah and how we can use some of the things that, he implemented to be able to transform our lives, right? So number 1, what was number 1, guys? Can we remember what number 1 was? It was decide on the mission. Decide on the mission. Number 1, we got to decide on the mission. Number 2, what was number 2? Let's see if any of you guys are implementing or if it's just notes for notes' sake. What is number 2, guys? Can you guys remember? Sacrifice. Excellent. Number 2 was sacrifice. What was number 3? Once we decide on the mission, then we got to sacrifice. Know what we're willing to sacrifice in order to get that mission done. All right. What else? Qualifications. So we got to make sure that we're going to qualify exactly what it is that we're doing with somebody who's accountable, someone who's qualified to give us the advice. And we spoke about how Nehemiah went to the king and how Nehemiah was advised to do such and such. And also the king gave him some tools, helped him to become better in the mission that he was on. Number 4. What was number 4, guys? How many of us know? Number 4. Obstacles and removing doubt. Understanding that when you're going for something bigger, there will be obstacles. There will be things that try to creep up to hold you back. Self-doubt, negative voices. And we realize that we have to recognize those things and eliminate them before they destroy the mission. Number 5. What was number 5, guys? Yes, setbacks. Setbacks. So we know that things are not always going to move smoothly. We know that things are not always going to go to a place that we want it exactly on the date. But we have to understand that when we know what the mission is, a setback is just a set up for where we want to go. Number 6. What was number 6? The preparation, preparing for the success, preparing for what it is that we're doing, making sure that we are having schedules, making sure that we are planning our success. We're not hustlers. That's right. We are professionals. So preparation is key. And then number 7, guys, what was number 7? Impact, completion, seeing the fruits, seeing what it is that we've done come into reality. Excellent. You guys were on this thing. Look, I got my notes as well, guys. I ain't playing around. We're here as well. So here what we're going to be doing, we're going to be picking up that, guys. Actually, I'm going to carry on from here. Part 2. We are going to be carrying on, guys. And I'm not apologizing for this because this call right here, it's either going to do one of 2 things. And we have 104 people on the call right now. 105. And I'm predicting that not everyone's going to last. I'm predicting that some of the things on this call may cause a reaction. But what I am going to say is, as the very first call into 2021, we cannot be new goals, new me. We cannot be same old, same old. We have to be activated into the mission that we have. So having those 7 things by itself is not good enough if we really want to break through. We have to take action. We have to take action. Now, we didn't even get all the way into Nehemiah's story last week, guys. And I want us to just basically have a look here at some key principles that I'm going to talk about right now, okay? But we have to take action. So this part 2 is about the jump. The title is The Jump, right? Because what is the point of all? What's the point of all of the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 if we don't actually jump? We don't actually take the jump and do what we need to do in order to get the things across. So let's go with me, guys. I'm going to take it really nice and slow. Let me just go into my notes. I'm going to take this really, really nice and slow, and we're going to make this thing happen. So for those of you that was not on the call, all right, we were speaking about a gentleman called Nehemiah who had a very amazing life. He was, wealthy. He had, he was part of royalty. He was rolling with, the big boys, but he felt uncomfortable because there were parts of his mission that wasn't complete. So although he was living good, we recognize that as leaders, although we live good, we become uncomfortable if our people are not living good. And so Nehemiah felt uncomfortable because his people were not living good. So we watched how he sought authorization from the king to go and fulfill the mission and leave his comfort, leave the things that he was comfortable in to go forth for the mission of helping the people, right? How many of you on this call right now know that you would quite happily trade for yourself, make money for yourself, and drop the mission of trying to help everybody else? Put a number 1 in the chat if you know that sometimes the mission weighs deep. The mission weighs deep. You have to have an unbelieving desire to carry forward a mission. You got to be brave to carry forward the mission. And we saw how Nehemiah left what he had, his comfort zone, to now go to go into a mission, to be able to start to repair some damages that he didn't do himself, but he saw that there were people that needed it, right? And so we looked at how he sacrificed his comfort zone. We looked at how, he went and he started to build belief. He actually got belief in other people. Other people started to believe. There were other people alongside of him pulling on the mission. And then we came across who? The Sanballats, Tobias and Geshems, those people that although they look like they're part of the mission, are really there to break it down. They are haters in secret. They were there trying to damage the process, damage what it was that he had to do. But he recognized it. And there were some key things that he did that he recognized, and we didn't talk about this, and this is exactly what we're going to be going into now, is exactly what happened when he recognized the obstacles, he recognized the setbacks, and how he was able to overcome them to eventually rebuild those walls. Now, there was one thing that he said which really got me, which was he advised his people, the people that were on the same mission with them. He advised them, number 1, he advised them 2 things, right? 2 things. And I'm going to tell you these 2 things now. The first thing was he advised them to keep building, all right? So number 1 is keep building. Now, remember, we're talking about the jump, right? So I'm going to break this down in a bit. Number two, what he advised, because he said it in one sentence. He said, you keep building with your one hand. You build with one hand. And what did he say you should be doing with the other hand, guys? What did he say you should do with the other hand? One hand you're building, the other hand you're protecting, right? You're protecting. So I'm going to tell you right now. So we got to build and protect at the same time. I want us to really deep this, right? You're building and you're protecting at the same time. Now, we spoke about the builder. You guys remember that? How the builder got rid of the corner, the stone, and you know, that became the head cornerstone. And those that didn't believe, now they're looking and seeing the rise. So now here we go again with build and protect. Now, can you imagine a builder building a house, right? Building a house, but then just leaving it open to dry, knowing that it could rain? That wouldn't happen, would it? You're not going to leave the house open in a vulnerable place where it could rain and everything collapses. So when builders build, what they do is they build and protect as they go. Otherwise, it's all going to collapse. Yes or yes? Make sense? You have to build and protect. Otherwise, if you build, all your building can go down the drain. Because if you're not protecting it as you go, what's going to happen is the conditions are going to then destroy what it is that you're building. Are we making sense right now, guys? Tell me yes or yes in the chat. You cannot build without protecting at the same time. It's pointless. It's absolutely pointless if you don't build and protect. So he advised to build and protect when you jump. When you're jumping, you got to build and protect. Not building over protecting or protecting over build. You got to build and protect. What happens if you build without protecting? You're wasting your time and you then lose what it is that you have. What happens if you protect without building? You're almost accused of burying the talent because you're not actually developing and growing. You're just there trying to protect what you have. And what happens is you're in danger. You're in danger of lacking growth. You're in danger of staying the same. You're in danger of not actually taking the jump because you're so fearful of protecting instead of building. So there has to be a balance between the build and the protect, right? The build and the protect. Now, I want to just stop right there, guys, because once you build and protect, right, there's something that happens along the way. There's something that happens. I don't want to skip too much because I'm going to get into, the domino effect in a moment. But before I get into that, guys, I want to just read something that happened to Nehemiah, because it said, whilst they were doing that, right, the workers were getting tired. Oh, here we go. How many of you know that it's easier just to build? It's easier just to protect. But when you're trying to do two things at once, when you're trying to multitask, when you're trying to cover two areas, you're going to get tired. You're going to get tired. How many of you feel tired? How many of you, it's only the year's just started and you're like, yo, there's a lot of work to do. Yeah? There's a lot of work to do. And so they started to get tired. They started to see the work. It was like, there's so much rubble to be moved. We're building this thing, but there's just so much. There's just so much. But then here's the next line. It says, meanwhile, our enemies were saying, before they know what's happening, we're going to swoop down and try and kill them and end their work. Now, I just want to highlight something to you guys. I want to highlight something to you very, very clearly. It's no coincidence that they were tired and then the enemies wanted to come and destroy their work. It's no coincidence that happened directly after there was a fatigue. There was a sign of weakness. Now, what happens is when and I say enemy, this could be your insecurity. This could be somebody that, not particularly wants you to do well. This could be different things. So your enemy will be whatever you want it to be. But there's going to be a time where you get tired. And that's the time where the enemy is going to now come to you. That's the time when the enemy is going to try and take you out. Tell you that you can't do it. Tell you that everyone else is winning except yourself. Tell you that you're not good enough. Tell you that you haven't got the courage. Tell you that, you don't look the part. Tell you that maybe it's good for them, but not for you. That's the time when the enemy is going to swoop in. Take it carefully. Listen, the workers were getting tired. And then, meanwhile, the enemies knew what was happening and were going to swoop down and kill and destroy. You see, a lot of the time, when we get tired, we make irrational decisions. When we get tired, we start working from a place of emotion and not from a place of construction. It becomes to be destructive. When we're tired, we make the wrong decisions. When we're tired, we then open ourselves up for attack. When we're tired, we no longer are operating from a certain place. We're now operating from fear. We're now operating from doubt. We're now operating from the mindset of lack. And so it's important that when we are building and protecting, we have a set of principles that we follow so that we are always in a position to do the jump. Because this is about jumping, guys. This is about doing the jump. Not talking about doing the jump. Not making notes about jumping. Actually doing the jump. Actually jumping, guys. And so I'm looking and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking at this story and I'm like, okay, cool. What happened next? What happened next? What happened next is they carried on. They carried on doing what they were doing, and eventually the mission was complete, but it didn't stop there. They achieved the goal. They built the wall, right? They achieved the goal. They built the wall. But then what happened? People started to go back to their own ways. People started to go back to the old things that they were doing. It was like, okay, mission accomplished, and they revert back to their old habits. And then there was Nehemiah having to remind them, hey, remember the mission. Let's get back in order. How many of you have ever started off something, ever made a small, maybe an accomplishment, or you've achieved something, it was going all well, and then all of a sudden it started going backwards again? Anybody realize that? Anybody seen that? Anybody been in a season where you're happy? You're like, yo, life is good. Things are going well. This is an achievement. I'm proud of this. Could be even your trading. One day you made a lot of money trading and everything was well. You go telling your whole friends about it. Next day you blow your account. You're like, oh my God, I'm back to square one again. Mighty Jesus. Or you hit a certain position, you hit a rank and everything is going well. You people that you're talking to, they're literally like, yo, I swear I'm happy. Everything in this trading is going great. And the next minute you speak to them, they quit. And you're like, bro, did I just say you okay last week? What's going on? How are you quitting on me? Or the people you think everything's going fine. There's a season where you feel like everything is going good. And all of a sudden, you feel like you've made 2 steps backwards. And you know why that is, guys? Is because when things are going well, sometimes we forget to protect. When things are going well, you're building. How many of you can feel the momentum right now? How many of you can see the group chat? Every minute somebody else is being joined to the family. Every minute we're having people coming in. The building. But how many of you are protecting? How many of you are consciously thinking, okay, let's make sure these people are making money. Let's make sure we get them on board. Let's make sure that they're joining the right calls. Let's make sure the beginners class is there. Let's make sure we remember, because during a season of momentum where everything goes well, we can forget to protect. It's important to build and protect. It's important to build and protect. Yeah, you have a good trading day and then tomorrow, no stop loss. Oh yeah, cool. I'm great. I'm invincible. How many of you had some good trading? It's going really well. And then the next day you're like, you know what? I'm going to over leverage. Let me just over leverage a little bit because I can make this money. Yeah, it's going to be okay. I've been invincible. I banged out 20 trades. They all hit blue. So tomorrow, I'm going to change it up. Tomorrow, I'm going to over leverage. I'm going to make triple. I'm going to be a millionaire by tomorrow. I have figured it out. How come people don't even know how to trade? You start getting an ego. Bruv, this is easy. This is easy. I'm killing these trades. And then tomorrow, what happens? Humble pie. Because you didn't protect. You didn't protect, guys. You did not protect. You see, the minute you stop doing the things that you're supposed to do is the minute the results that you saw is going to be in the past. This is about consistency. This is about not just jumping, guys. Not just jumping once. This is about consistently jumping. We're talking about the momentum. Right now, we have the momentum right now, and it's easy to forget to protect. It's easy to forget to follow the plan because it seems like we've got everything going on right now. What about that one person that came in last week that you haven't even called yet to find out how they are? What about that person you haven't seen talking in group chat for a little while? And they're probably too shy or too scared or less developed. What about the persons that's not on this call right now? Have you noticed that they haven't joined the call? That's what you call build and protect. This is one family right now, guys. One family. Not 2, 3, 4 different families. One family, one goal, one mission to enrich, empower, and educate 1 million customers around the world. We must build and protect. Build and protect. Someone type that in the chats. Build and protect. Build and protect. Build and protect. So now we realize that we need to build and protect, guys. Let's talk about the building. Because some of us made promises to ourselves on the 1st of January. We decided that there were certain things that we were going to do. We decided that there were certain things we were not going to do. We wrote our lists. We got our vision boards. How many of you right now, hand on heart, know that you haven't given your best shot at 2021 just yet? Put a number 1 in the chat. We're having an honest conversation right now. You made the list. You made the promise. You said you were going to do that. You said you were going to do this. Now we're 4 days in, guys. 4 days in. Are we going to keep this up for the rest of the year? Are we really going to keep jumping on these mindset calls and not changing? Or are we going to do something about it? I'm gonna share something with you guys, and this is around the domino effect. I want you to type this down, because once you got the build and the protect, the next thing is the domino effect, right? The domino effect. I'm writing this down, right? And in actual fact, build and protect is number 1. You can't have it. I put it down originally as number 1 and number 2, but build and protect has to be one line. Build and protect, one line, guys. Number 2 is the domino effect. You can't have the build without the protect. Build and protect, number 1. I'm crossing that out. I'm changing it. You can't have building and protection on 2 lines. It's one line, build and protect. Second one, the domino effect. Now check this out, guys. Check this out. I was researching this thing and I've started reading a new book. I definitely advise you to read this. It's called The One Thing. I've had this book for a hot minute. I started it, but my mindset was not at a level to really receive it. And so I put it down until I felt like I needed to pick it up again. So this is the book that I'm now reading. This is the first book that I'm reading this year, which is called The Number One Thing. All right. It's by a gentleman called Gary Keller. And it is a New York Times bestseller, and it's absolutely an amazing book. The Number One Thing. Now, long and story short, the first 2 chapters talk about how you can really stay focused and how you can get, really good, solid results. And the second thing is about the domino effect. Now, this is crazy because I started reading this again today, and I didn't even realize there were parts of this that I was doing, but I didn't really recognize it. Now, I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Have you ever done something and then you heard the theory behind it after, and you're like, oh my God, I do that already, but you just didn't know it was called that thing, right? And so when I read this, there was a real live example of this, and I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm going to share it with you guys today. And it is going to be a little bit brutal, but I hope you understand what I'm going to say within this. So here's how the thing works, right? So the first chapter is the one thing, right? The one thing. And there's a conversation between 2 guys, and he's like, I figured out, the secret to life. I figured out the secret to life. And the guy goes, okay, share it with me. What is the secret to life? And he goes like this. And the guy's like, what, your finger? He's like, no, one thing. He's like, okay, what's the one thing? And he's like, that is the secret to life. He's like, yeah, what? And he's like, that's what you got to figure out. You got to figure out that one thing. Too many times people are trying to do 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. But if they can figure out that one thing, just like Tiger Woods knew it was golf, just like Serena Williams knew it was tennis, just like Beyonce knew it was singing, you have to figure out that one thing. And when you figure out that one thing, what happens is you then become obsessed with that one thing. How many people, unsuccessful people, have you heard them say, well, what are your goals this year? And they go, well, I want to open a phone business. I also want to start my singing career. I want to have a salon. I want to be able to go chairman. I want to be able to, free some lives in Nigeria. I want to be able to help, all these people in Jamaica. Like, how many things are you focusing on? The book says if you chase after 2 rabbits, you catch none. If you chase after 2 rabbits, you catch none. One thing. What's the one thing that you're going to achieve this year? What's the one thing? I tell you this, we did these calls every single Monday, majority every Monday for 2019. And we used to do these little challenges, right? And it's funny, I didn't realize that I'd used the one thing. So one of the calls, I was like, listen, the first 5 people who join 2 people will get $100 cash. And guess what happened? We had about 100 people on the call. Not one person did it. Not one. Then I said, the first 5 people that join one person will get $100 cash. We had over 40 people join the same day. Can you see how the power of one, just one, if you focus on just one thing, you see, 2 things are overwhelming. We've tried this out so many times, it doesn't work. It doesn't work, just one thing. And then it went into the second bit, and this is the bit that I'm like, yo, this is deep. Anybody getting value from this? Put some 7s in the chat right now, because we may lose some people at this point. So here's the deal about the domino effect, right? Here's the deal about the domino effect. And, there's these people that had the domino factory. I ain't going to get too political on it. But what they did, you all know about the dominoes, right? You put one there, you hit it, it hits it. And then all of a sudden, all these dominoes go down. We all know what I'm talking about. Yes or yes, right? So these people in this domino factory, what they were doing is they were putting one domino, maybe about that size, small, like half an inch, whatever you want to call it. I'm not good at geometry or whatever. And then they'd have another domino next to it, but slightly bigger. In fact, almost doubled its size. And the next domino, each domino after the next one was even bigger than the domino before. And what would happen is I think they had the world record of 4 million dominoes lined up. Madness. And each domino was getting bigger than the next domino. Now, the tiny little domino, the little tiny domino, which was the first domino, by the time all the dominoes had stacked down, had knocked down a domino that was probably 7, 8, 9, 20, 30 foot high in the building. Which means that you can use something so small to create the momentum, the energy to knock down something that is triple, quadruple its weight, height, and size. So here what happens now is that you can make one small decision that has a complete domino effect, not just in other people around you, but in your life. Not just in your financial life, but okay, let me just put it this way. How many of us have ever had a problem personally, whether that be in a relationship, you have an argument with a spouse, or you have a situation going on family-wise or health or something like that, and that affects you in your business, that affects you with your self-esteem, that affects you with doing that Instagram live today, that affects you with making those calls, because one thing has now had a complete domino effect in your entire life. So if it works that way, why is it that it doesn't work the other way? Where you put some positive people in an environment where there are people winning, shouldn't it not make other people then begin to do what it is that they see the positive people doing? So how many of you right now, let's be honest, have seen me do an Instagram live? Put a number 1 in the chat. If you've ever seen me do an Instagram live, put a number 1 in the chat. Now, not hyping myself up, but how many of you think I'm okay successfully? I'm kind of successful. Put a yes in the chat. And now, the next question I'm going to ask. Have you seen any other successful people doing Instagram lives? Put a 3 in the chat. Isn't it interesting that we can have a domino effect with those that are having the positive, the negatives? We can have a domino effect with all the bad things, but we choose to ignore the things that are actually going to free us. What am I saying here, guys? So yesterday was a complete example. And I even put it up on my story today that there's 3 types of people. There's people that make things happen, watch things happen, and people that wonder what happened. So you may be on this call right now as the majority that have no idea what happened last night, this morning, early hours of the morning. You may be part of the majority that have absolutely no idea, right? Because there's 3 types of people. People that make things happen, people that watch things happen, and people that wonder what on earth happened. So you may be in the large majority of people that absolutely have no idea what happened. then you could be one of you're the next majority of people that know what happened, but chose to watch, chose to be an observer of what happened. And then there's the small minority that was like, I'm going to be a part of making this happen. I'm going to make it happen for myself. I'm not just going to watch other people making it happen, and I'm going to make this happen for myself. So let me tell you what happened, guys. So here we are. You guys all know we celebrate Kim. She hit platinum 600 yesterday. Absolutely incredible. We celebrated her. And I've been working very closely with Kim since she's come in for the last 8 weeks. And, you know, one of the things that we've been working on, we've been doing is being visible on social media, right? Being visible on social media, for example, Instagram lives and posting. And Kim has been in for 8 weeks, and she has got results that majority of people haven't got in a year, 2 years. Why? Because she has been coachable. She's followed the blueprint. This woman has had 7 people join in 2 days, just from Instagram lives. This woman, right, is following basic instructions. Contacting me every day. Okay, Nikki, this is what I'm doing. Nikki, this is what I'm having. Nikki, this, that. But here's what happened yesterday, guys. Here's exactly what happened yesterday when we talk about the domino effect. So we were doing this Instagram live, right? Kim then decides to do another Instagram live. I then forward into the chat, Kim doing the Instagram live. And I put a little slogan on there because Kim was in her night clothes. So I attracted you guys to jump on her page. At the time, I didn't even realize, because I only started reading the book today, guys. So now Kim's on the Instagram live in her pajamas, headscarf all wrap up and everything, warming up the crowd, giving it all the, you know, Forex money and all them something there. And everyone is now watching Kim do her thing. Everyone found it funny. They were like, yes, girl, because she was busting little jokes. And I was watching, waiting to see who was going to watch her show. She was showing the plan. She had a whole whiteboard and she was like, what is Forex? And she was talking about the whole thing, right? We know that whole presentation was going to take about 45 minutes to an hour. So I was wondering, let me see the type of people that we have on this call right now. Are they all just going to sit and watch Kimberly make her money? Are they all going to sit and watch this woman? Watch her make money and not really understand that they need to be doing the same thing. So now what happens now? Halfway through, I think, or 10, 15 minutes in, I see Amina Michelle come off of Kim's live. She's probably gone to, you know what, bun this, I'm doing my own Instagram live. I ain't sitting there watching somebody else make no money. I'm going to do my own. So now guess what? I then jump on Amina Michelle's live, screenshot Amina Michelle going live, bang that into the group as well. And I'm like, yo, look, here we go. Now I see people with initiative, not sitting there watching people make money. Watching other people make money ain't going to change your situation. And now guess what happens after that, guys? The domino effect. So now Lavinia jumps online. Lavinia's like, yeah, I'm going to be coachable. I ain't going to be the one that Nikki's going to turn around and say I ain't coachable. She's jumped on live. Now Lavinia's on live. Guess what happens, guys? I bang Lavinia's thing in the chat. Nicota's gone live with some of her team. And Nicota's like, yeah, we're going to start this thing. And now the momentum's going because the conversations are flowing. I've got my 4 devices. I've got the iPad. I'm jumping in between Amina's, Kim's live. I'm going live on Amina's. I'm going live on Kimberly's. I'm going live on Lavinia's. And I'm out here working with these girls because I'm like, yo, I'm working with those that are ready to work. But guess what? Then we also had, I'm not going to leave out, we had Kimali. Now, Kimali, he didn't do the Instagram live, but Kimali went on his WhatsApp and was like, yo, guys, I'm just letting you guys know right now that things are going on. There was a domino effect. But let me teach you this, guys. The domino effect was missed by some. Some sat and watched other people making money. And that was that was hard for me to see, because this is a place where I truly believe that we are bringing forth transformation. I truly believe that we have products and services that work. And there were some people that made a choice not to do it. They made excuses in their mind. I don't look the part. My technology ain't right. I don't have a light ring. I'm probably going to be dark. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And there are excuses after excuses after excuses on why they could not do it. Whilst the majority were sleeping, admittedly. Right? And this thing, when I read this book, it came to my head straight away. I was like, look at that. God is really amazing, because this was the book that I was told to read this morning. And chapter 2 is about the domino effect. Now, which one of the domino effects are you actually going to be participating in? The domino effect that you've always done in 2020? The one that's kept you where you are right now? Or the domino effect where you duplicate what successful people are doing? Now, that may sound harsh, but you're choosing to remain the same. If we don't change, if we don't do different, nothing is going to be different from 2020. I put on my story today, you are either going to be a part of the movement, you're either going to be watching the movement, or you are going to be wondering what on earth is going on. Now, if you are somebody who is a leader on this call, you would have had access to that information, because I put it in that chat. I didn't put it in Discord. So some of you would not even have the access to that information. That's a whole nother story about access, right? But for some of you that had access to it, looked at the message and chose not to be a part of it, you really got to ask yourself, you really have to ask yourself, what is it that you want? What is it that do you want to stay the same? Do you want to stay the same, or do you want different? Shout out to my girl Olivia today. Olivia messaged me, Nikki, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm going live tomorrow. I said, tomorrow? Why tomorrow? Go live now. Why do we always give ourselves the excuse of I'm going to do it tomorrow? That's rude, because you're almost thinking that God has promised you tomorrow. He didn't promise you tomorrow. He gave you today. He gave you today, guys. So how are you going to be insulting to your creator, or whatever it is that you believe in, that you have a right to be here tomorrow? What are you doing today? What are you doing today that validates and qualifies you to come forward tomorrow? Are you really taking your life seriously and the purpose that you have over your life seriously? What if Nehemiah was like, oh yeah, I'll build the house, I'll rebuild the walls next year. We're doing next week. We'll rebuild. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed. And we say this, 95%, 5% mindset, and we do the rich dad, poor dad thing on the opportunity calls. But do you realize that within the 5%, there is also a 95%? Within the 5%, there is still a 95%. People that don't believe in themselves. People that don't believe that they deserve to be here. People that don't believe that they deserve to have wealth. And if you're on this call right now and you don't believe that you deserve to have wealth enough to give yourself permission, Olivia did the Instagram live today. But that's what mentorship is for, right? Mentorship is the shortcut to success. So when you say tomorrow, your mentor says no today. That's what you signed up for, guys. When you came into this community, you came into this community to change your life. You came in this community to be held accountable to growth. So that when you say negative words over yourself, that you're corrected with it. We don't talk like that. All my trades keep hitting stop loss. If you keep talking like that, they're still going to keep hitting stop loss because that's the energy that you're putting out there. Nobody's joining my business. If you keep saying nobody's joining your business, no one will join your business. You see, I take to you today that whatever energy you put out there is what you're going to attract back. So if you are attracting negative people around you, if you are attracting negative results, it's because of your energy. What is the frequency level that you're putting out there? Because whatever you put out is what you're going to get back. That's the law, guys. And you know I'm a girl for the law. Whatever you throw up must come down. That's the law. The law of gravity. Whatever you throw up must come down. So what are you manifesting? What are you putting out there? Do you correct yourself when you start to say negative things about yourself? Oh, I can't do that. Why not? Who said you can't? Remember when we were younger and our parents said we weren't allowed to say can't? When did that change? Oh no, no, that's not for me. That's the young people, or that's not for me. That's for married people, or that's not for me. That's for these people. Who said it's not for you? You keep saying it's you. You know that thing about no weapon formed against me shall prosper? But no, maybe you're the weapon formed against you while you're not prospering. Maybe it's your negative self-talk that's stopping you from progressing. Oh, nobody wants to join my business. I don't want to build a team. I just came here to trade. It's those words that's going to keep you in that position. It's those words that's going to stop you. I did an Instagram live today about people that say, I don't have time. Be careful what you say, guys. Because when you say you don't have time, what you're saying is you're putting that energy out into the atmosphere, and you are saying to anything that can hear, any solutions that you have for me, anything, any opportunities that you have for me, don't give it to me because I don't have the time for it. I don't have the time for elevation. I don't have the time for growth. Whatever you say out of your mouth is what you're going to become. And so if you have been saying that you're going to jump, why haven't you jumped yet? We're 4 days into the new year. You promised yourself you were going to jump. You promised yourself you were going to build and protect. You promised yourself you were going to retire your parents. You're going to buy that house. You're going to clear those debts. You promised yourself. But you're still not taking the action. You're still not jumping. We've been speaking about Bitcoin for God knows how long. Some of you still don't have a portfolio. I'm getting people DMing me, asking me about XRP and crypto. I'm like, I've been talking about this every day. We're on the calls every day. Where are you? This is another thing. The next one, you got build and protect, domino effect. The next one, number 3, you got to pay attention, guys. Pay attention. You must pay attention. There are some finer details, guys, that we need to pay attention. Pay attention. There are things happening right now in your community that you don't even realize because you're not paying attention. People DMing me on Instagram as if they're not already in the team, asking me questions that we're providing in the team. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention to what is going on, because otherwise you're going to get left behind. We have a group chat there. The group chat is there for you to ask questions. Why are we asking questions on Instagram? Why are we on the team opportunity calls asking questions in front of our guests? Pay attention. We have beginners class, 10 o'clock, Tuesdays through to Saturdays, every day, where you can go on there and ask questions. We have once a month, chaired by Auntie Anne, a Q&A session that you're going to have leaders there to answer the questions. I see somebody messaging me and calling me at 2 o'clock. Everyone knows we're on Neno's mindset. Pay attention. If you're not happy with your goals and where you are, you should be on these Neno mindset calls at 2 o'clock. You should be on the 10 o'clock mindset calls that we're running here with the team. Pay attention. Now, the last one I'm going to say right now is intentional. You got to be intentional. Number 4. And so one of the things we spoke about last week was preparation. All right. But we got to be intentional. We must be intentional, guys. Now, when I'm thinking about how Nehemiah, went to rebuild these walls. Do you think man just rolled up with a bucket and spade and just was like, come we just build up a wall, brother? and called up his, randoms and was like, yo, come, we are build up a wall. Come, we are build up a wall. Calling up random people in his phone. Yo, you want to build a wall? We are build up a wall. Do you think Nehemiah was ringing around, his homeboys like, yo, if he had a phone, this is my interpretation of the Bible. Yo, brother, you want to see the king give me authority for build up one wall? Anybody want to come? Do you think he waited until the day the wall was going to be built to decide to order the materials? Some of us, we spoke a couple of weeks ago about running our business like a jerk chicken shop with no jerk chicken. Yeah, we all know those shops. Can I get a patty, please? No, there's no patties. Can I get a chicken, please? No, there's no chicken. Can what do you have? Right? Nehemiah prepared for the mission. Now, some of you are like, you're saying, by the 1st of December 2021, don't tell me where you're going to be the 1st of December 2021. Tell me what you're going to do today. Tell me what you're going to achieve in January. Tell me what you're going to achieve in January. What are you going to achieve in January? Why are you telling me about December 2021? What, so you can ride the wave and procrastinate for 11 months and then decide to say, oh, I ain't got no time. I didn't have the time. I don't want to hear what you're going to achieve in December 2021. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, we have to have a vision. And yes, you already know, guys, my mission is 100 six-figure earners, 25 seven-figure earners. But if I keep saying that with no actual schedule, no intent, is it actually going to happen? So what are we actually going to do to make sure these things happen? We must have a schedule. I posted my schedule today. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention. I posted my schedule on all social media platforms, and I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is where I'm at. And what I'd love it is if you all could screenshot your schedule for today. How many of you feel comfortable screenshotting your schedule for today? Have you been working? Is your schedule right now evident of where you say you're going to be in the 1st of December 2021? Is what you've done today enough for you to get to that goal that you say you want to get to in December 2021? I show you mine if you show me yours. Anyone confident to drop their schedule in a group chat? And let's see. And I don't want to see things like wake out of bed, brush my teeth, eat. No. I just want to see the things that's going to be proactive in your life. Because I bet you, when you have a look, you'll be like, oh, so all day, I jumped on Nikki's mindset call. And that's a lot of the thing. A lot of you think mindset call is working. It's not, babes. Mindset call is not working. Mindset call is giving you the accountability for you to then go and do work. For you to then go and change your life. What does your schedule say about you today? Do you really believe that you're going to go there if you keep doing what you're doing today? Don't tell me what you're going to do tomorrow. What did you do today? What are you doing every day that's going to really change your life? Are you motivated or are you dedicated? Because I'll give me dedication every day. I get people messaging me on Instagram every day. Nikki, your video really motivated me. Okay, what have you done about it? Now you're motivated. Now what? Now what? This ain't entertainment. We ain't here to entertain. We're here to change lives, breakthroughs. And those people that are coachable, those people that are paying attention to the finer details. I've never seen somebody like Kimberly before, to be fair. Pays attention to the finer details. Listens. Some of us are so busy doing nothing. And the time that you're busy doing nothing, the time that you're telling yourself you're too busy, you could have used that time to be proactive. What does your schedule say about you? What does your today schedule say about you? Because I tell you, if nothing changes, guys. Focus on one thing. So many people trying to build brands. Build an income first so you can pay for the brand. Focus on one thing. Just focus on one thing. If it's your Instagram lives, focus on those Instagram lives. If it's the harmonics, focus on the harmonics. What is that one thing that you are going to do that's going to transform your 2021? And then you focus on it, and then you fix it, and then you keep working on it and keep working on it. Don't wait until you order the ring light to do the call. Don't wait until your hair is right or your makeup is right. Get out there and do what needs to be done. And you work on it as you go. And so, guys, we're going to have a part 3 on this jump thing. I'm going to wrap this up because I know beginners class is coming up in the next 3 minutes. But this is not jumping January for no joke. A lot of you have the flyers, but the flyer without the work ethic is a waste of an investment. What are you doing with it? Is it just a pretty picture to show off to your friends that you're on a flyer? No, you've got to put the work in now. Be visible. Jump in January is a manifestation. Jump in January is prophetic, guys. It is a prophetic thing saying, listen, I am going to jump. I need to jump right now. I can't do the same old. If you're still waking up the same time you was in 2020, mate, you're playing yourself. We need to jump, guys. And this is not a message that I'm like, I'm telling you this because I want to see transformation. I don't just want to see the repeat of 2020. So yes, you got to build and protect. What does that look like for you? Look at the right things that you want to have a domino effect in your life. Look at things that are working. Success leaves clues. Stop being busy for no reason. Stop being busy for being busy's sake. What are the actions that you're actually taking that is bringing you in the income stream that you desire? Mindset is not one of them. Mindset is what keeps you accountable, that keeps your head in the game so that you can build and protect with strength. But what's the point of the mindset if you're not building and protecting? What's the point of the mindset if you're not paying attention to the finer details of these domino effects? What's the point? And so I'm going to wrap this up to say you got to be intentional, guys, because what was acceptable 2 years ago isn't acceptable now. What would have got you highlighted and noticed 2 years ago isn't going to cut it now. Yes, you was great last week. Yes, you was great last year. But what was made you great last year is not going to make you great now because the bar has been risen. The bar's been risen. I had someone say, Nikki, can you call me? No, you don't get access like that, guys. That's not how this thing works. Look at my schedule. Pay attention. Look at what's going on. You know how many shoulder plans I've done? I've done 6 shoulder plans today. I've done 2 Instagram lives today, 2 Facebook lives. I've been on Clubhouse twice. When do you want me to call you? This is a build and protect season. This is not sit and chatting. This is not sitting chatting, guys. This is build and protect. I ain't got time to be talking, I'm feeling low, Nikki. Get on a mindset call, fix yourself. Come on, we got money to make. This is jumping January. It's not the season to be sitting down chatting. Not the season to be having negative thoughts. Forget anything that's not paying your bills, growing your mindset. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about the people that ain't joining your business. Stop talking about the people that are not lifting you up. Stop talking about the individuals that are not helping you, and get up and work. Anything that is not in alignment with your growth needs to be destroyed in 2021. If it's not in alignment, stop giving energy to it. Stop talking about it. Nikki, you know what they said? I don't care what they said. What are you saying about your growth? What are you saying about your business? What are you saying about what you need to do? I don't want to see the screenshots. I don't want to hear about what they're doing over there or what they're doing over here. I want to know what we're doing right here. I want to know who's changing here, who's growing here, who's quitting their job here, who's retiring their parents here, who's got their first £100 trading profit, who's got their first £1,000 trading profit. I don't want to know what they're doing over there or over there. What are we doing here? Stay focused. Pay attention to what's going on here. So I'm making a disclaimer here, guys. I am sorry right now if you're not going to get me contacting you verbally by the telephone, because I am going to go to where I am seeing there is going to be momentum, to where I am seeing that there's going to be impact. Because if you by yourself cannot follow the system and apply the stuff that we have to make you win on a basic level, I'm not going to take my time out of what it is that I'm doing, serving the masses. That's not how this thing works, guys. We've provided a system that you can't be bothered to follow, but you want someone to take their time out to explain the system that we've already put in front of you because you can't be bothered to click the link and join the call. Pay attention to what's going on. The answers to all your questions is there. And if you're stuck, you drop the message in the group chat. Hey guys, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not talking about personal. If you have a personal situation and you need to share that, you guys already know I'm already open. I'm all the way up open for that. But I'm having people messaging me, asking me about the beginners class. And I'm like, the link's there. I'm having people message me on Instagram asking me about Bitcoin. I'm like, the calls are there. Nikki, can you call me about Bitcoin? How am I going to call 2,000 people and all talk to them about Bitcoin when we have a call to speak to the masses? We need to pay attention to what is actually going on. And yes, there can be a lot of information, but the group chat is there for a reason, guys. Ask. Ask not, and you won't. If you don't ask, you're not going to get, guys. It says it. Ask not, get not. So we need to pay attention to the finer details. I'm posting my schedule, guys. You can see I'm working. You can see I'm working. This is a season of work. If you're not connecting with me to work, then we haven't got anything to talk about right now because this is a season to work. Right now, I've only got two hands. One's building, one's protecting. And if it's not to build and protect, we can't really rock it. We can't really kick it. And so if I'm around you and you're not growing and you're not elevating, you're going to see a distance. You're going to see me sidestep because I want to be around people that are elevating. I want to be around people that are coachable. I want to be around people that understand that this business is no joke. So I want to see the people that are in this chat right now that know they're ready to jump. Know that they need to jump. Know that this is the season. It is now to jump, guys. I'm not angry. I'm passionate because I know that each and every one of you have it in you. That's why we're here. We're not here to joke around. We're here to have transformation. But this is the season to work. If you're not having massive momentum in your business, hands down, I said this to the bootcamp lot earlier on. If you're not having massive momentum in your business right now, you are the problem. You have a problem. If you don't have massive momentum right now, it means that you are not following the system. You're not jumping. You're not following what we're doing, unless you're new, of course. But if you don't have massive momentum right now, the whole of wealthier world right now is blowing up right now. So if you don't have massive momentum, it means that you are not following the system. It means you are not coachable. There's something about what you're not doing that's why you're not having it. It's not the system. It's not the time. It's not the people. It's you. So now what are you going to do about it? What are the things you have to work on to make sure that your 2021 is not the same? Are you not angry with where you are right now? Do you not want more? I do. I want more for all of you guys. Right now, I feel like Nehemiah. I live a good life. I live a very good life. Me and my husband are living a good life. My children are happy. But I don't sleep at night, guys. Because I'm thinking about you guys. I'm thinking about how you can elevate. I'm thinking about how you can grow. But you got to work with me. You got to give me something to work with. We got to do this together. We can't do this alone, guys. There has to be a decision that's made for us to jump. Every single one of us know exactly what it is that we need to do. You may need to go on those live sessions. You may need to reach out and seek advice. You may need to look at the system again. You may need to come onto the session. You may need to start picking up the phone and calling people to invite if that's what you want. You may need to start doing Instagram Live. You may need to do something, but whatever it is that you need to do, it starts with your daily schedule. What is your daily schedule looking like, and how are you going to make it work? Too many people are turning their lives around in this business. Too many people are growing. For you to sit and be like those ones, not the ones that don't know what's happening, not the ones that are making things happen, but be the ones that's congratulating everybody else and just watching everybody else win. Don't you want to win too? Don't you want to win too, guys? Isn't it your season to win now? Isn't it your season to really make a difference in your life, to really see that progress? So I'm ready to run. I'm ready to run with those. I'm ready to run with those that are ready to jump. I'm ready to run with those that are ready to jump. But let me tell you, don't make it be a joke in January. Jump in January. Don't make it be a joke in January, guys. Because we're going to see 3 types of people come February 1st. We're going to see those that made it happen, those that watched it happen, and those that have not even got a clue what is going on. And you have to decide which one of them you're going to be. Now, come February, I'm going to be launching a traders boot camp. A traders boot camp. Now, this boot camp is going to be strictly trading. So we're going to be trading together every day. There's going to be a qualification. All right. I'm going to send out the applications in the chat. All right. We're going to wait for the first boot camp to be completed. All right. And then it should start in the 2nd or 3rd week of February. Now, it's going to be a difficult process because I'm not going to be accepting everyone onto that boot camp. I'm not going to be accepting anyone onto that boot camp. And so there will be a qualification. And so just bear that in mind, guys, as we head off through this January, this jumping season. I want to work with people that are coachable. I want to work with individuals that are hungry for success. I want to work with individuals that are not scared to step out of their comfort zone. And so if you're somebody that's interested in that boot camp, or you feel like there's somebody else that would be interested and they're not started yet, you may want to let them know that they want to jump in now so that they can qualify for this boot camp. But I'm telling you right now that what we have planned for, Wealthier World right now is not normal, guys. It's not your normal income. It's not your normal lifestyle. It's not your normal stuff. Don't get left behind. Work on yourself every day. Start reading books. Start scheduling. I want to see you schedule, especially if you're a leader on this call. You should have a schedule, a plan. Know where you're going daily. Know what you're going to achieve daily. Because success is not a coincidence. It's intentional. So with that being said, I'm going to rewind just to make sure we all got it. The jump, part 2, build and protect. Number 2, the domino effect. Number 3, pay attention to what's going on. Number 4, be intentional. Number 5, that then gives you access into all things that you require and you desire, right? Number 5 is the access. You then get doors opening. You then begin to get things happening for you. You then start to see manifestations of things that you've been desiring. Access. Access doesn't just come just like that. You have to follow the process in order to gain access. And so with that being said, guys, it's very important that we follow the system. We go all in. Talk to our mentors. Talk to your mentors. Find out where you need to get to really break free into that breakthrough. Do one thing. Keep doing it over and over and over again. Master your craft. Put the work in. And I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. Next week, we have a very special mindset call. I am going to be joined with another chairman. I'm not going to announce who that is right now, but we're going to be joined. We're going to do a joint collaboration, myself and another chairman, next week, Monday, 9 p.m. So please make sure you put that date in your diary. For those of you that are new into the family, wow, what a mindset call that you got today. Welcome to the family. We want to welcome you. You can see that we're passionate about your results, okay? You probably jumped off anyway onto the beginner's class, but this is what you're going to get here. 2021 is a different season, guys. It's accountability all the way. If you're a leader on this call and you're not helping your people jump, you're failing them. You're failing them. Don't allow individuals to put off something till tomorrow that they could do today. Stop giving each other excuses for failure. It's not acceptable. So we can do more, we can do better, we can do different, and we definitely can do less of those things that are not going to help us get to where we want to go. Okay? So with that being